which thankfully Adrian can't hear because it's a horrible klaxon alarm sound, one like they would have wished they would have had back many years ago when the last ships were coming onto the shore and thinking, uh-oh, we're under attack. More on that in just a second. That does mean that our Unscramble competition for today is now closed. So good luck if the computer's going to pick your name out. But I am going to introduce Adrian to the breakfast show with Folly Farm this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, there you go. That'll help. Thank you so much for coming in to talk to us about the last invasion of Britain, which of course was here in Pembrokeshire, just off the coast of Fishguard.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a thing, a bit of history I grew up with. But because you grow up with it, you don't realise how special it is, And what I've discovered now, having come back, I've gone away for work and education and stuff like that. That it's not celebrated in the way that we think it should be celebrated. There was a very big celebration for the 200th, but nothing since. So we were planning to do something small this year to build up to 230th, but the enthusiasm for the event has overwhelmed myself and my fellow organisers.
I love that. There's something about history. It's always captivating, and particularly in this bygone era of big, tall wooden ships, of soldiers in their colourful frocks. It would have been back at the time, and of course, all the stories that have come out of the last invasion of Britain with the Welsh ladies on the cliffside. Oh gosh, look at all the soldiers! But there's so much more than that, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Our first house. My dad was in the Navy, and we lived in a place called Pontiago. And for those who know the geography there, that's about half a mile from a farm called Briscarn, and they've got a clock that the French shot a hole in because they thought it was somebody hiding. I mean, that's just real history,
Yeah, and there's still elements of Fishguard now which played pivotal points during that invasion. Like the Royal Oak, for one, was pretty much used as a bit of a jail, wasn't it?
I'm not sure about it being used as a jail, but that is certainly where the surrender treaty was signed. They still have the original table in the back of the pub, and it's coming out on the reenactment. So we've got people to play the French surrendering, hopefully, and we have the commanding officer of the current Pembs Yeomanry, who still exist. He's going to dress in period dress. He may or may not be on a horse. We haven't fathomed that bit out with him yet, but he will sign the treaty, but he will also take the surrender on the beach earlier in the day.
It's going to be amazing. And you've lined up these wonderful 19th and 20th of July to do this reenactment of what would have been seen. It would have been terrifying at the time, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm guessing so. I mean, nobody would have expected it, I think. I mean, there was some interesting. I don't know. This is an aside. I've only discovered this recently. There was. We think runs on the bank are a modern thing, but there was a run on the Bank of England because of this, and this is when promissory notes of £1 and £2 were first issued. I mean, that's amazing. That's how scared the nation was, not just the people in Fishguard. But they had experienced pirates. I mean, Barty D was a famous pirate, and apparently he held the town to ransom, firing cannonballs at it. I don't know a lot about that. I know they have a really nice rum, but the Fishguard's steeped in history. I just find it so privileged to have grown up there and still be living there.
Yeah, and of course the French highlighted it as an area they went all the way around England, and they thought that, this little inlet southwest of Wales, this is where we're going to take over what they believed was theirs. And they were thwarted, but by the tiny town of Fishguard. So, what have you got? What have you got lined up then over these days?
So, what we originally started with was one small group of reenactors. They're called HMS Wales. They do Napoleonic reenactment, which is close enough in time. And the intention was they would set up they do major educational camps. They set up a camp where people can go and experience the history, see the muskets, the cannons, and other bits and pieces. And partway through the organising, because they agreed to do a reenactment with us as a sideshow, sort of, they introduced us to the first of the 1st Grenadiers. Interesting enough, they took part in the 200th anniversary as the French contingent, so they came along as a French. So they're going to have side-by-side camps where people can visit and see and experience and touch history, if you like. They will then take part that's in the morning. On the itinerary Saturday and Sunday is both the same. So in the morning, the camps will open about 10, shut about 1. Reenactors will have their lunch, and then we'll do the reenactment on the beach. since we've got them involved, we've had a lovely group from Ireland have asked if they can come along, and they're going to play the part of some civilians, because it really was a civilian-led suppression of the invasion, if you like. They were almost, the military was almost an afterthought of the thing, with the civilians and Jemima's army, of course. So we're hoping they will come over from Ireland, and then we will stage the reenactment over about half an hour on the beach, with initially with the French and the civilians, and then the HMS Wales, as the British forces will come in, and then we've now got some cavalry, hopefully, as well, to come in.
It's going to be incredible. And where about in Fishguard is this going to be taking place? You mentioned the beach there, of course.
Yeah. So for those who know Goodwick, the camps are on what we call Phoenix Park, which is the rugby and football club down on by Goodwick Moor there, behind the big plenty of car parking, massive car park. The reenactment itself will be on Goodwick Beach, the Fishguard side of the breakwater, but it's still Goodwick for those who are passionate about Fishguard and Goodwick. And then about 4:00, we'll go up to the town square, where we'll have a short signing of the treaty, and also we've then got the Fishguard and Goodwick Rugby Club Male Voice Choir are going to do a musical piece. The Fishguard and Goodwick Brass Band are going to do a musical piece as well.
Amazing. I was with the Fishguard and Goodwick Male Voice Choir just on the weekend. They will be in fine voice.
Yeah, I know one of them really well, but he's, for those who are fans of the sadly departed Ryan Davis, he's going to do a special thing from Ryan Davis. I won't say much more than that, but those who know will know.
Those who know will know. For those that are history buffs, this is something that you're going to want to see, because we are an island nation. This isn't something that happened to Great Britain and United Kingdom very often at all.
No, not at all. I don't know when the last invasion of Britain before that was. So I'm not that great at history. I love history now, but I wasn't that great. But it's 228 years ago already. The last invasion. I mean, it's highly unlikely we'll ever be invaded again. And it's the Pembrokeshire have the distinction of having the only battle on British soil.
Wow.
Which is a rare thing indeed. Well, unique.
Yeah, but very unique. They are the only ones. And we're going to be celebrating this. And of course, you mentioned Jemima there. The writings and the reports from that time. It sounds like she was quite a formidable woman.
Yes. I don't think I would have met her on Dark Night, that's for sure. Yeah. Of course, in all what I've just said, I've missed out Jemima's army entirely. So it wasn't just Jemima. There was a small gathering of them. So we will, of course, have a Jemima's army who'll encourage the French to surrender with their pointed weaponry.
And one thing that amazes me about these wars and these invasions gone by is that they weren't over very quickly. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, some of them actually assimilated quite well. Some of the French troops, once they had surrendered, some of them didn't go. They all stayed.
Oh, I'm afraid you know more than I do there, but that wouldn't surprise me at all. I know something similar happened after the Second World War. I believe. I think a lot of Italians stayed in Britain, and we lived on an Italian potato farm out not far from Carrigwester.
It's amazing. I cannot wait to have this history come to life. And it's thanks to you. Who else is part of the committee that's been helping do this?
It would be very remiss of me not to thank a few people. This was a gentleman called Alex Allison's idea. He approached me about 2 years ago saying we really should do something we should really organise this. And he has helped me. And Nicola Gwynn, who's a county councillor, she's been a great help, of course. Pembrokeshire County Council have been extremely helpful. I don't think we'd have made a manager without them, because they stepped in quite late with funding. Anybody organises anything, no, funding's always a problem. I applied for a couple of grants. I was unsuccessful, but luckily PCC have stepped in with shared prosperity funding, which is actually from the UK government, to be fair to the UK government. Mm-hmm. So they've effectively funded it. Our local North Pembrokeshire Trade and Tourism have stepped in with some money and help on social media and filming and administration and organising as well. So they've been really helpful as well.
And if people want to find out more the run up to this event, where can they go to find out more information?
The best place to go is to the visitfishguard.co.uk website, where there's an events page. If you go on it might be called What's On actually, but events or What's On, and there's a piece there about it, and there'll be further links now because we're putting a press release out next week, and there'll be some more information about it there. That's probably the best place to start for sure.
Amazing. And remind us one more time, what dates are these going to be taking place and what times between?
So it's the 19th and 20th of July. It's the same itinerary both days. So the camps are open 10 till 1 in the morning. On Saturday, it's a little bit later because we've got groups booked in on the Saturday morning. And then in the afternoon, 1 o'clock till 2:30 maybe, we're going to have a horse display. I forgot to mention the Shire Horse Farm have offered to come bring some of their Shire horses down, which you'll have seen in the Troop of the Colour the other weekend. So they'll be on display with cavalry horses. The horses will then move away before we start firing the muskets, and they have an 8-pound cannon apparently that they're going to be firing. That'll go on till about 3:30. About 4 o'clock up to the town square for the sign of the treaty and what I'm calling a musical interlude afterwards. And there's a history talk in the Royal Oak at 5:30. That's again free. Everything on this is free. There's no charge for anything of this, including the history talk in the Royal Oak. That's free.
That's amazing. A whole day of events of this reenactment of the last invasion of Britain for free in Fishguard, 19th and the 20th of July. Adrian, thank you so much for coming in and telling us all about this.
Thank you for having me, because I'm not great at publicity, and I couldn't have done this without you.
You've done an excellent job here this morning. We'll put the posters up on our website also, so you can find out more about it. Adrian, one more time, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Coming up next here on your breakfast show with Folly Farm, we need to find out who is going into that main prize draw. That's coming up before 10 o'clock here on Pure West Radio.
Folly Farm.